Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. So tonight we have the Empress, which is perfectly aligned with both the spring or the autumn, if you are in the southern hemisphere. Obviously, I have my wonderful American accent. You can tell I'm up here. I'm living in the northern hemisphere, waiting patiently for spring to come. And so we have Persephone. We have the return of life, and it is blooming abundantly. The Empress is one who leads from wisdom, but also intuition. Okay. This is a being that is empathetic, that is loving, nurturing, that is safe, protective, but also, as a lot of the mother goddesses are, fierce, brutal, unforgiving if you cross in the wrong way. So keep this energy in mind. We're going to go ahead and turn this thing. Turn it, turn it, turn it. Okay, and we'll take a look here, see what these tea leaves have to say. And so I want to say thank you for deciding to click on this reading. It's always such a huge honor for me to be able to do these readings for you, to bring these messages to you. So if you are new to the channel, I want to say welcome. It's nice to meet you. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thank you for coming back. There are a lot of people on here. I feel like I know you so well, even though we've never talked directly, but I've been seeing your comments for the last couple years, and I remember everybody's stories. I sometimes have trouble with faces, names, forget about it. I absolutely can't remember that. But how somebody makes me feel, that's a big one. But also when they tell me parts of their life, stories, detail, I remember that stuff. I don't know what it is about me, but that's just the way that information kind of sticks in there. All right, so let's start over here. We have somebody sitting in front of a television. We have them seated right here, and you can see the head and the body. Now, usually I would say this is somebody who is enthroned. It's maybe the emperor, the empress, but this does not feel like that to me. We also have what looks like kind of an apparition up here, which I do believe is probably the television. And we have even a note, right, a musical note kind of coming out, and so sound kind of billowing from this thing. Now, we have the name Leo, and we also, on this side, we had Lou. L-O-U, Lou. So it looks like a Leo and Lou. Maybe Lou is a Leo. So this is very particular, and if this, if the details I'm giving you don't exactly match up, there's room, like for instance, when I say, oh, this seems like it's maybe like a masculine figure in your house or in your life, and maybe like a grandfather, an older person. It doesn't necessarily have to be grandfather. It could be the dude down the street that felt like a grandfather. right? It could be, you know, your uncle or your scouting coach or whatever, troop leader. Is that what they're called? I don't know. Whatever. Somebody in a leadership care role, mentorship, whatever. So it's more of an archetype, right? Generally. This person, I kind of feel like watched you while you were growing up. Maybe you spent like your days off of school with them, maybe during the summer. Maybe they lived with you. I do feel like this is an older person, at least 2 generations older than you. And I just keep thinking that it's almost like the windows are shut, the blinds are drawn, the house is really dark all the time. The TV is the only light and maybe like a little lamp. So going in there, and it feels like it must be summer because I keep thinking like, why are they depressed? Is this why their house is like this? But I think like what they say over and over is, this is how we keep the house cool. But it feels like a cave. It feels like a dungeon or a chamber, right? And like just sitting in there with this little blue light of imagery kind of, you know, dancing across the screen. And it almost feels like you are like descending into another realm. And I feel like at times you really lamented having to be watched by this person, or, you know, go and spend your days over there, maybe as a companion, or slightly helping with caretaking, or maybe it is, maybe you just were a kid that needed supervision, you know, which is more and more normal now, right? When I was a kid, yeah, people watched us, but they didn't really watch you, did they? We roamed the streets from the morning until the lights in the street came on. Sometimes later than that too. So I feel like having this interaction in your life, and I feel it's not even something that comes up a lot for you. It seems like just a small insignificant detail. But when you really examine how you spent so many hours and days of your life growing up in this, you know, in your summers, on your breaks, or, you know, whatever, I feel like you start to realize like this was a really like fundamental thing. This was like character building in some way. It was, you know, it altered your perception of what reality could be. And I know that sounds extreme, but the thing that we learn, hopefully, as children, and as we get older and we go out into the world, is that we realize that people live differently. I mean, you could have 3 houses and each household is completely different. Their schedules are different. Their beliefs are different. The way that they do things are different, you know, and that's what's beautiful about life. So I feel like for you, this was such a out of the norm experience. I mean, it's normal because you probably went there often, but it was like a breakaway from how your life at home was with your parents, with, you know, your siblings or whoever else. And so I think that this was super important. I see 2 deer, a stag right here, and then we have a smaller deer right here. Okay. So the deer represents a spiritual revelation, but also an encounter. Okay, not just like a dream, a prophetic dream or a vision, or no, this is like a full-on visitation. This is like something magical happened and you were like, okay, what is going on here? And I feel like in this environment, there was something there. And it's like it opened these windows in your mind, it opened a door in your mind. And I feel like this added to your creativity, it added to your ability to break from consensus reality, to explore the depths of your imagination, not be afraid to do things differently or live in different ways. You know, you might be a person, not unlike myself, actually, where you've had these very distinct iterations of your life, your experience. And in each chapter, or I guess we'll go with chapter, each chapter of your life, you're a very different person, and you have maybe a different job, and you're hanging out with like different people, or you're, involved with your family a lot, or maybe not at all, or, and these different parts of your configuration like shift so much that it feels like you've been living different lifetimes. And a lot of it comes from this core experience of understanding there are so many different ways to get there, and why not make it interesting? Why not make it a little outside of, the normal way to do something? And so I feel like this was a huge education for you. And it doesn't, we all have been babysat by people. We all, maybe not everybody, but I went and stayed with my sister during the summer, and, these kinds of things. So we all kind of have some understanding of what that would feel like, right? To go stay somewhere different, to be immersed in other people's way of life, and you might just think, well, it's just, that's how I spent my summers, whatever. And I feel like this in particular, very fundamental to you, okay? So let's go ahead. We're going to turn this. We have the face of a cat right here, and the nose and the little mouth, and here are the ears and the head in general, right? So I feel you going into not necessarily like a hermit mode, but super into like whatever is interesting you right now. You are locked in. You are fully in your own reality. Like, I don't play video games a lot. I mean, I'm not super into gaming, but I've been around people that game a lot, and that kind of like, they're so entranced by what they're doing that when you're talking to, they just don't hear you, or, it's hard for them to stop to, pay attention and then answer you or whatever. I feel like if you could apply this to like your waking life from the time you wake up till when you're getting ready to go to bed, you're kind of in that zone. Nothing is distracting you. And I feel like it has so much to do with your creative force, right? Of course, I'm talking to a Taurus. So I know that you're creative. I know that you are not afraid to be an individual, to be, kind of eccentric, or, have your own style, your own, I keep saying this, your own way of doing things, right? I know you're not afraid to do that at all. So it makes sense to me that you get into this cat mode, right? And cats do what they want. Nobody's going to tell them what to do. If you try, they're not going to listen. Unless you have food or catnip. So I do see you kind of just on a solo mission for right now. Okay, and so we have, it looks like a wizard. Here's the hat right here. We have the eyes, the nose, and here's the arm and maybe the leg. And so, and then we have the face of, it looks like a feminine person, maybe an older person. Here are the eyes, the nose, the little mouth, and the hair would be up here. Then we have the illuminated candle. We have a horse. The horse is about movement. It's about making a decision to change some aspect of your life. And I believe that you are doing that willingly. It's not like your hand is being held to the fire. No, you are somebody who is into self-development. You like to work on refining aspects of your life and exploring different avenues of inspiration and interest and so on and so forth. So this makes sense to me. But we have the illuminated candle. So I also believe that there has been some kind of revelation. Obviously, it's within the magical, spiritual, psychic realm, or your work having to do with your work. So I feel like this all makes sense, that you would be going back, retrieving memories from your past where some kind of spiritual event happened, kind of analyzing this period of your life, you know, deriving some kind of understanding or meaning, or some fragment that can be used in your work. And I see you really applying this to that, well, spiritual alchemy that you are working on. But also, I feel that you probably are, on some level, a magical practitioner. Maybe you're manifesting. Maybe you get really into the spell work. Maybe you're just kind of a casual observer. You're interested. I don't know. Maybe you're full-blown magi. That could be. But I do feel like this is your position of power in your life. You are definitely aligned with the magician archetype. I also feel like you are a performer to some degree. Like, I don't know if this is what you do for your career, but now we have two people sitting here watching, and over here we have a person who is kneeling and their hair is kind of up here, and in their hand there's the Sacred Heart. So I kind of feel like for you, performing in whatever capacity, if it's music or singing, or you're a fine artist or a performance artist, a dancer, or I don't know, maybe you are one of those people, oh, that's so cool, where they take chainsaws and make sculptures out of pieces of wood, like you watch it at the fair or something. Maybe you're one of those guys, I don't know. But for you, this ability to express yourself, to use your voice, to share these little understandings you have, these experiences, impressions, and put it in some kind of medium, using it as sublimation, sharing it with the world. It is cathartic, but it is also so beloved to you. It's not that you want to do it, it's that you have to do it. You are naturally born performer, okay? We also have the letters RR. It seems like a name. So a magician and also a performer. Sounds like you could be into Western Hermeticism. Maybe you're somebody that is into doing the whole ceremonial role-playing type of magic. We have a large number 7. Okay, so I want to be careful with this. We have a person, and I'm going to try to lift it. We have a person, head, body, almost kind of looks like a dress or some kind of robe. And it looks like holding a shovel, but also a flower. I'm reading it as both. We also have the number 49. So I feel like this is your calling to start your garden right now. No, it might be. I don't know. I'm so stoked. Tomorrow I have time. I've cleared the afternoon out, and I'm going to be outside working in the yard with my daughter and my husband. And I literally have not been so excited for like days and days. And then I was like, oh my gosh, we have a day on the calendar where I can go out and plant and clean things up. But it feels like, yes, there is this invitation from the universe for you to be out there building and creating and cultivating. Does this mean it has to be flowers and vegetables and this kind of thing? No. It doesn't mean that you actually are gardening. Maybe though. If you are a gardener, shout it out in the comments. I love my fellow gardeners. But this could be that you are building something up in your life, right? You are beginning the process of starting something for yourself. And that's what it really kind of says to me, is building something with purpose, okay? And this might be the little alteration for you, where usually you're creating in a way that is expressive and, you know, kind of about sharing your experience, your voice, you know, like we said before. But maybe you weren't really thinking so much about the monetary or where this is going to lead. Well, this new project or this new medium or this new, maybe it's like a hustle or, you know, like a business or whatever it is that you are starting to build. I feel like the first thing in mind is I need this to do the work for me. I mean, not build the thing, but once I get it going, it needs to bring in money. It needs to bring in resources. It needs to bring something, opportunities, the ability to network further, you know, whatever it is. Get the openings, get your foot in the door so that you can get the work that you want, or, you know, I don't know, maybe it's like you've been angling to get the lead in the community play for the last 10 years and, you know, you've done so much work to try to get there, and finally you found something that you think is going to give you that little your step up or whatever, and there you go. You're going to get the lead in the community play, you know, something like this. I don't know. But I do feel like when you find yourself in this place of, well, it's anticipation, it's excitement. You have a lot of hope right now. You believe in yourself. And so I feel like you are just absolutely activated. You're feeling good. Flowers just blooming beneath your feet everywhere you walk. You know what I'm saying? It feels like a good time to be a Taurus. Okay, let's go ahead. We're going to do our lucky numbers. We have I'm going to go with 10. Number 10. 3. Number 3. Number 80. 80. Okay. And then we're going to do our Indigo Sage affirmation cards. And I'm just going to go ahead and flip through here. And I don't know. Oh, it's part of the owl. All of these are like little parts of paintings. So here's the other part of the owl here. Okay, it says 17, evolutionary, artful love. Develop a great intuitive sensitivity of heart that is feather light. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would like that. That would be awesome. I don't know. I'm not sure where you begin with that exactly. I don't know. Speaking from a very anxious person's standpoint. Okay, and let's do our inner child oracle. And I'm going to flip through. I'm going to stop where it feels right. Okay, we have 16. Okay, well, this is, I'm like, I don't know where to start. It says go inward. Lenor, come on, get with it. Go in to the interior. It is time to connect with your inner child. There we go. That's where we start. We're going to get that inner child work going. All right. Well, Taurus, I want to say I love you because I do, and thank you for being here with me today. If you'd like to hit that like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to this little channel we have here, I would love it. I would be so honored. I would appreciate it, and you're the best. Yeah, and I guess that's it. I gotta go get my daughter from skew here in a second, so I'm gonna skedat. I love you. Take care of yourself. Go check out my husband's tarot channel, Dove and Serpent Tarot. His name is Paul. He's amazing. Go check him out. All right, love you. Bye.